All right. So there are some questions from section 4.3. These ones. So question 3, question 4, question 7. I'm going to start with 7 because it's the hardest and like the weirdest. Basically, it's saying you have this equation, and it is the same as this equation. You need to find values for A and for B that result in this when distributed, when expanded. So what I'm going to do is start. Let's write this. Let's write it a little clearer. X squared minus 10x plus 39 is the same as x minus a squared plus b. So let's think of it this way. I'm going to actually break this up. X squared minus 10x, okay, plus something. Let's call it, I don't know, f, okay, plus, I don't know, p. Okay, these two, f and p, are going to give me the 39. I have no idea what they are right now. I do know that this x minus a squared plus b gives me the same thing. Now, this is going to be from this. This is going to help make this here. So what we want to figure out is, if I expand this, how can I make it turn into this? So the clue we're going to look at to figure it out is this negative 10 in the middle. We know that if we expand this, it's going to be like x minus a times x minus a. These two numbers, when you add them together, are going to form the middle term, this negative 10x. So we just need to figure out what number can we put there so that when we distribute it, it gives us this number. And really, it uses that formula we talked about. It's 2ab. If we put in a 5, and we distribute it, that gives us the negative 10. So let's do it just to check. Okay, x squared, negative 5x, negative 5x, plus 25. So these two negative 5s go together because they're like terms, gives us negative 10x. We have the x squared, and we have plus 25. So now, this works perfect. So we now figured out these have to be 5s, so we know that a is equal to 5. But the question actually asked us to find what b is. So if we know that's 5, and when we expand it we get the 25, here we had 25. Okay? We still don't know what p is, but we know that if we took these two numbers, this 25 plus whatever, it will give us 39. So we know this has to be 14, because 25 plus 14 gives us 39. Therefore, the answer to the question is 14. So the way you do this question is when you have stuff set up this way, right, like this type of question, we just need to figure out, okay, how do we turn this into this? And we know that it's going to be 2 times a gives you that middle term. So basically, if you take this number and divide it by 2, it'll give you that a value. And then you can use it to figure out what needs to go for the last part for b. That's it. Let's look at some of these other ones. Okay, so 3. This one's tough. You have a negative in the middle. So basically, we're going to find out what this is and then subtract all of this. So let's do this first. So this is going to be x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20. Okay. Now I'm going to leave the rest. I'm going to say minus. Now I'm going to put brackets around my answer because remember, this said subtract everything. So in order to subtract everything, I have to put it all in brackets. So again, x squared minus 8x plus 1x minus 8. Yeah. So now let's collect some like terms. So this is going to become x squared minus 1x minus 20 minus x squared minus 7x minus 8. Now we need to actually apply this negative to everything in the bracket. So all of them are going to become times negative 1. So this isn't going to change. This is going to change, though. It's going to become negative x squared. This actually becomes positive 7x because negative times a negative. And then this becomes positive 8. So now we can collect like terms. Okay, so we can say x squared minus x squared cancel out, so it's nothing. So we'll keep them circled. Then we have negative 1x plus 7x gives me 6x. And then we have negative 20 and positive 8 gives me negative 14. So that's the final answer. The only tricky thing with this is because it's negative in front of brackets, you have to apply the negative to everything after you simplify. This question is essentially the exact same thing, so I'm going to go through it quickly. Same idea, so let's rainbows this. So I get x squared. I'm going to quickly do this. So you get minus xy, minus 4xy minus xy plus 4y squared, minus, and again I'm going to do this in brackets, x squared minus xy plus xy minus y squared. The other thing you can see is that this is one of the special patterns, but whatever, this distributive property works too. Simplify everything. These two cancel out because they're the same. So this is going to give me negative x squared and then positive y squared because the signs flip. And now we can collect like terms. These cancel out. So we're left with y squared minus 5xy. Oh, sorry, 5y squared because these two go together. And that's it. This question, a little tricky just because of the squared, but let's go through it. So I'm going to distribute these two, but then I'm going to leave it in a bracket, our answer, because it has to multiply by this entire binomial. So this is going to give me 40 minus 24x in brackets, and then 2 plus 5x is not going to change. Now I'm going to apply this, okay? Oh, wait, before we do that, we should do the exponent. So really this means 1 plus x. So I'm going to leave the negative 3, and I'm going to get 1 plus 2x plus x squared. I skipped a step there. Remember, you're going to get that middle term from adding them together. Now we can apply, now we can do our rainbows again. And then we're going to do this over here. So this one's going to become 80 plus, what's that, 200 x, okay, minus 48x minus, what's that, 121 x squared. No, not 121, sorry. 120 x squared. And then these I'll multiply as well. So you get negative 3 minus 6x minus 3x squared. Okay. So now we just have to collect all like terms together. We'll put the squareds together first. So negative 123x squared. All the x's together, so that's going to be 200x minus 54x. And then the 80 and the 3 go together, gives you plus 77. We'll put these two together. So you're going to get negative 123x squared plus 146x plus 77. And that's it. I think that was it. Those are all the questions we wanted to go through. So just be careful with these types of questions. Either use the pattern knowing how to do this in one step, or just distribute properly like the way you normally would. And that's it.